Welcome to the Prophecy Club. This is Iran Unfiltered. As you know, we got taken off of the YT and also the FB platforms. And so, one of the things I promised YT when I got back on is that we would be very careful about what we said. I understand that. They are, they're trying not to offend anybody. And there's a lot of things that people say these days that are very offensive. But the most offensive things are those things that Christians say against the devil. So I'm about to make a very, very powerful program, and I'm about to let it rip with what I really think and what I can really prove on some really, really bad things about. See, I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. I mean, for one thing, they kill people. And, I play racquetball with some of them. And I don't want to get my house broke into, burned. I don't want to get my family hurt. And that is exactly, you've got to be really careful with the things that I want to say today. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to even begin to say some of the things that I want to say. So I'm making this promo to tell you that you really want to go to two places. Well, actually, the YT and the FB are the only places that the platforms we're not putting it on. So you'll still be able to watch it on your app, your Prophecy Club app. If you don't have that, you go to App Store or Google Play and download Prophecy Club. That's an app. There's also another one up there on watchprophecyclub.com. Be helpful to download that too. And you can watch it up there because there's no filtering on that. We can say anything we want to say. And the reason I send you to watch these other 8 videos is because these were recorded in Christian studios, and these speakers could say whatever they wanted. They were not filtered. They were not afraid to say what they wanted to say. And they tell the truth. And I'm pretty sure that you would learn lots. You would probably find your mouth dropping open more than once with some of the things that are bad about this. And I already said the word, so I'm not going to say it again, okay? It's that serious. There's that many of them in our nation. It's a big problem. Millions of them. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little teaser on what I'm going to be saying on the unfiltered version. And I'm going to have to really watch what I say. As a matter of fact, I've asked my editor to please listen carefully to every word and take out any word that might get us in trouble. Okay, so this is Iran's plan to see that Trump loses the midterm elections. Here it is. I told you this was coming in a program last week. Economic warfare, preemptive strike. Now, what does that mean? Are they just going to be using drones fired from Iran to the local neighbors, trying to hit some of the U.S. bases? Well, they've already done that. My guess is no, it's not just there. Based upon things I just put in the last program, apparently Iran is going to ship some drones into Mexico, and who knows, they can even shoot them from a boat from either one of the Atlantic or Pacific Oceans. My guess is that we're about to see things blowing up in America. And that's confirmed by Brandon Biggs. He saw in a vision that that's exactly what's coming. And that's a lot of the things that I want to talk about. And I want to read this whole thing. And I can't. I can't risk being taken off. Okay. Iran vows a devastating response to Trump's economic D-Day. Now, to me, that says we're not talking about things they've already done, like firing weapons at Oman and Saudi Arabia and UAE and hitting the U.S. base. So they've already done that, okay? We're not talking about hitting Israel. We're talking about hitting inside America, in my opinion. I think you're probably agreeing. Iran vows a devastating response to Trump's economic D-Day, which, by the way, I started putting this article up there, but China has now openly said that they're not going to cooperate. So China could be supplying Iran with all of the money and weapons it needs. And It wouldn't surprise me what they do that. Again, I can't say a lot of what I want to say. Vance to Newsmax. Iran could survive a couple of more months. Look, you don't understand. I'll say this, and I'll probably close with this because I know I'm getting very close to the line, the red line. Vance doesn't understand. For him to say that, he doesn't understand Islam. When Islam says Allahu Akbar, they're not saying God is greater. They're saying our God is greater than yours. The whole point of Islam is to convert the whole world using jihad. And I'll tell you what jihad is, but I dare not go into it right now. But it is threatening people with their life. I'll say it that way. And their objective is to make everybody on the planet worship their God without saying the name of it. And we think their God, and I won't say the name, but on here I should not say it, but it's, in my opinion, going to be the Antichrist. In other words, I think it's going to be, he will not be Islamic, but his parents will be Islamic. He will not regard any God, for he said in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God, which is why he has no desire for women. Okay, if he has desire of women, then he's not a God. Okay, so we're talking about the world under the leadership of the Russians coming down, and mostly that word again, I started to say it again, coming down to attack Israel, and that's Armageddon. Now, I've got, I got lots of stuff to say, but I dare not say it. So here's what we're doing. If you normally watch through YT or through FB, then if you go to your app store, you can download the Prophecy Club app free and watch it there. Or you can go to prophecyclub.com and watch it there. Or you can go to watchprophecyclub.com, watchprophecyclub.com, and you watch it there also for free. So I just can't put it up here. Trust me, I just can't put it up here. So let me just close by saying this. If God has blessed you and you can help us, now would be a really good time. Let me also encourage you to go to watchprophecyclub.com and go watch those 8 videos. Go watch them. You do not know everything in those videos, and they are very good, very professional. Let me back up and give you a little history on the Prophecy Club. So God called me to start the Prophecy Club in June of 1993. We invited guest speakers. Matter of fact, we invited 160 guest speakers, making 330 DVDs. We used to ask a donation of $30 per DVD, but they're all now available for $200 a year or $20 a month. You can unsubscribe anytime you want to. There's no contracts on them. So let me explain the 8 DVD offer we're giving right now. You can go watch all of these free at watchprophecyclub.com right now today. The first one is called Chrislam, The Nation Killer by Leslie Johnson. It compares Christianity and Islam, showing that Allah is not Jehovah God. Chrislam says that Allah, the Islamic God, and Jehovah are actually the same God, and puts Qurans and Bibles in the same pews. Wrong. The next DVD is called 5 Deceptions of Islam by Avi Lipkin. This presentation examines 5 foundational claims of Islam through the lens of biblical Christianity, comparing the teachings of the Quran and the Bible on God, Jesus Christ, peace, love, and divine revelation. Then we have Jesus, Jews, and Jihad by Marvin Yakos. Now look at this. This guy was a former jihadist himself. He spent 15 years studying the Vedic scriptures and 20 years studying Islam, Quran, and Hadith. After his miraculous salvation, God showed him in a vision that Islam would invade the world with one final jihad. We know it as Armageddon. He says the goal of Islam is to, listen carefully, kill or enslave the world. Islam kills or enslaves captured men and makes women sex slaves. You'll learn the frightening truth about Islam and the number 1 enemy of Christianity. So you can watch 8 of these DVDs free to watch through the month of August. Part of it is also Atomic Iran. Now, this Dr. Jerome Corsi, a Harvard graduate, author of 15 books, and an expert on political violence. And he has spoken before the Israeli Knesset. He used to have a top secret clearance, and he says that Iran will use atomic weapons, just like Trump says. And Iran has proclaimed that a mullah, an Islamic messiah, will one day return to destroy the infidels, that's anybody that's not Muslim, and usher in a new Islamic global government, once again heading to Armageddon. But also offering Islam and prophecy. I made this one. I examined the relationship between Islam and Bible prophecy, exploring prophetic interpretations, end-time scenarios, and questions about the future role of Islam in world events from a biblical perspective. Then Bill Federer came to make Islamic Conquest, Past or Present. He explores a historical rise and expansion of Islam, examining key military campaigns, what they've done in the past, crusades, influential historical figures, and the lasting impact of Islamic civilization on world history. It also considers how these events continue to shape our culture, religion, and global affairs today. Finally, Islamic Jesus versus Biblical Jesus. James Sundquist gives 22 scriptural reasons why the Islamic and the biblical Jesus are not the same. He tells what Islamic Jesus says he will do when he returns to the earth. Is Islam a religion of peace? Is the biblical Jesus the same as the Muslim scriptures describe? Is Islamic Jesus the Prince of Peace or another masquerade of the Prince of Darkness? Israel, Islam, and Biochemical Nuclear Terrorism by Bill Sneblin. This guy's really good. He gives you what prophecy says will come, as well as what is likely to come in the next war or the confirmation of the covenant and starts the tribulation. Bill explains how the Muslim religion creates terrorists who will kill thousands of Americans and exposes who Allah really is. You can watch 8 of them right now, free to watch through the month of August 2026. So here's what you look like. You go to watchprophecyclub.com. This is the way it looks. You click in the top right corner, sign in. And you can go in and sign up, quit anytime you want to. But through the month of August, you can watch all 9 of these free.